One of my all-time favorite things to do in this lifetime is go back to locations or cities where I used to be, live, work, do life for an extended period of time to the point where I had to leave an imprint in that place. And right now I'm in the location that I used to work at for 6 months. It's where I started my YouTube channel before it got deleted, and it's feeling very sentimental, extraterrestrial. Wait, that's not the word I'm looking for. Existential, maybe. You guys, I before I start this video, I need to explain something that just happened that I'm feeling a little weird by. So on Sunday, my pastor had a sermon, and he was talking about how like objects in your home can cause spiritual warfare, and how you need to actually get some objects out of your home. AKA like a statue of the Buddha or things from an unclean environment. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I kind of agreed though, because like I used to have a Ouija board in my home growing up, and that place was haunted. So I definitely understand to that point. But I have read a lot of Eastern philosophy, kind of dabbled with understanding different point of views and philosophers, and I've never been convicted of that. But I had a book above my toilet because I'd be reading, it's just what people do, right? I don't be scrolling on the toilet, I'd be reading. Anyways, and it was Deepak Chopra, Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. And I had never felt convicted of that book. Like it made me feel good when I read it. I learned some things, whatnot. But today, I picked it up and I felt like a little uneasy. Like I started to like justify, like, oh, it's okay if I have this. Like it's not, putting God below anything or whatnot, right? And it was like a very like background thought. I didn't really fully consciously think about it. And then my boyfriend calls me and he's like, hey, I think we need to get rid of that book in the bathroom. And like automatically, like my heart like sunk, like my stomach, like I felt very uneasy because I'm like, what? I was like, okay, why? And he's like, well, I just feel like a really dark feeling around it. Like I felt it yesterday and now I feel it again today. And I'm like, okay, get rid of the book, please. Recycle it. I don't want to touch it anymore. Just get it out. But like I've never felt that way before. Like ever. Like I don't maybe yeah, it's a little bit leans into like yeah. Yeah, now I see it actually because I am all for manifesting, but only if God is involved. Like I when I manifest or visualize, I always present it with God, if this is in your will, please let it come to pass. I don't try so hard to get my vibrations to match. I used to, but that's so much work, and that's not what God wants us to do. He wants to take that work off of us and not make ourselves our own God. So I thought that was very interesting. And not gonna lie, he told me this about an hour ago, and I've had like a really weird dark vibe. I don't know why. I have to shake it off. Like I'm just like, okay, what other books do I need to get rid of? I feel weird. But anyways, what I wanted to talk to you guys about, I'm glad I got that off my chest because if I just started this video talking about what I was going to talk about, it would have felt unnatural because that really, when I tell you guys nothing like that has ever happened to me before, the grasshopper literally leaped onto me and I gotta be quiet because I'm in a coffee shop. I would have never done this in the past. That's how you know I've been recording because I can just do it when other people are right over there. But anyways, what I wanted to chat with you guys about was this idea that if we are not intentional about our change, about how every single day we can become a better person, then we will be submitted to our past. Our yesterday will determine our present, our today. And an example that really made me want to talk about this was 2 mornings ago. It was 7 a.m. I was sitting on my porch and my neighbor came outside to let her dogs out. And again, it's 7 a.m., it's super early. And she just started screaming at her dogs, like so angrily, so hostile. And I was like, huh, she does this every morning. And nothing inside of her is stirring up to be like, I don't want to wake up angry today. It's the same her as yesterday. And that kind of reminds me of like, and not to air out my neighbor's dirty laundry or anything like that, because I too do things from the day before that I'm like, I said I would change. Like, for instance, like, I have a tendency to just like eat very fast, and like I've been convicted a lot of like gluttony and just that kind of thing, and that's something that's very hard for me to change. So this is no shame. It just goes to show that we are our past unless we actually do something to enact change. But like my other neighbor, and this goes for so many people across the world, just an example, it's like 6 a.m. and I'll go sit out on the front porch, and then I'll see him go outside and light up a cigarette, and it's like, it's 6 a.m. and I don't blame him, I don't shame him, but he is doing the same thing that he did yesterday. Like, nothing changes. We wake up with these same habits that we did yesterday. But when will enough be enough? When will we actually want to change? I think that's just a question. And how? How do we break these habits, especially as we get older? By the time you reach, I think it was like 40, a lot of your neurology is already hardwired to be a lot harder to change than if you were younger. And now at 23, I actually am hardwiring my mind to be able to have that consistent, kind of habitual, unconscious way of being. And I don't know, I guess I just want to come here and challenge your thoughts, challenge your actions. What are you doing every single day that if you were doing this in 30 years, you would not be proud of? Like, what do you want to change? And start. Don't wait for any other day than right now to start. Like I told you guys, I have a problem with eating fast and being gluttonous. Okay, then what can I do with my next meal? I can, pray a long prayer before I eat to ground myself, to center my nervous system before going into eating. I'm not going to wait until tomorrow, because we know that that never happens. Like, we have to start today. But a big thing with a lot of us is that we don't even know what we want to change. So I'm going to actually do this right after I was going to say right after I hang up, like we're on the phone together. But like, make a list. Like, what are your downfalls, but then also write your peaks. Like, we need to constantly be doing self-analysis. I think that's very important, is to constantly be analyzing ourselves to see where we're at in life. What throughout my day am I doing that I do not like doing? And then draw a little arrow and write some things that you can do to stop that. But we just need to stop that. We just need to, one, recognize the change, two, figure out what that change would be, and then three, what is the change that you will see if you apply to who will you be if you actually practice to not be it? You know, are you going to be that person that wakes up and, meditates and gets their heart right before starting their day, so they're not angry at their dog at 7 a.m.? Like, who are you going to be? Who do you want to be? And I know it's so much easier said than done. I guess another topic to really touch on is that it is very hard. I mean, it sounds so simple when I say all of these things, but I've made the lists, I've done the things, I've seen who I wanted to be, and I haven't gotten there. And it's really frustrating, and it's hard to get there. It's hard to change. It's hard to become the person that you want to be. And I think that we need to give ourselves grace for that. So many health self-help people, and just all of these books and videos and things that you can buy and whatnot. It kind of just makes it sound like, in my opinion, and maybe I'm projecting or something, I don't know, but it sometimes feels like the person that's selling the product or giving the advice acts as if they have it all together, but they don't. Yes, in certain seasons you might have it all together, in certain seasons you might be on top of the world, but there's gonna come a time where you're at your downfall, where you're not doing the best that you can be. So I think that we just need to remember that we will always be imperfect, and that's something that I've really struggled with. I kind of just assumed that when I would get older, I would, all of my traumas and all of my past mistakes would just be gone because I'm older. Like, no, I am in constant Bible studies with girls older than me, women older than me, elders even, that are still struggling. It's like we're never going to get there. So if we can constantly try, but also surrender and submit to the knowing that nobody is perfect besides Jesus, then that will give us a lot of freedom. And I just want to encourage you to do that for yourself, to continuously show up with love, but also show up with self-reflection, because we have this one life, and life is amazing and it's awesome and I love it, and I want to live it as best as possible. And I want you guys to, I don't want to have any regrets, and I don't want you guys to either. So yeah, that was it for today. I'm actually going to journal right now and see. I haven't really done a life reflection in a while, but I've been itching to, honestly. Like, I feel like there's some things I'm overlooking, and maybe because I don't want to go there, but I think it's just only right to go there. We need to go there. So have fun with that little life analysis, and I hope all goes well, and I hope that you can start enacting real change.